Hello, Troy A, Shadowing Tronics, taking part in Art Soundoff, and advance warning, I do need this again. Hoping it didn't sound too bad last time, because I need it again. Still got coughing fit. But I'll try to keep it as much to the side here as I can to sort of not damage my sound, my speaking voice too much. I want to sound like I'm juggling marbles or trying to sing "Smells Like Teen Spirit" or the Weird Al version. I think I want this to take effect. So still playing off the comic because this is one I think is interesting. The mascot characters or the comic relief characters. I don't remember if I've done an art sound off on this before, because we've done quite a few of them. But I am doing it this time. So because we've been talking about Scrappy-Doo. I don't think that Scrappy-Doo himself was the problem, and I'll see. And I think the problem was, if you go back and watch the first season of Scooby and Scrappy-Doo, you can see that it just felt like a continuation of the Scooby-Doo show. The writing style was there, the art style was there. It was just, instead of Scooby-Dum, it was Scrappy-Doo. And when the show started to get back on track to the mysteries, you kind of saw that he integrated pretty well in. The thing is, when it comes to these kind of characters, some people just take them outright on general principle. That's up to you. To me, it's a point of, does this character serve a purpose within the story, within the universe, besides being comic relief? Maybe that was one of Scrappy's problems in his first season, but as it came on, as he started to calm down a bit, you saw that he started learning how to use computers and gadgets, because he was, after all, a kid in the 80s, and that's when he started really building up with electronics and computers. Imagine if he'd had the internet back then. But even then, I guess that's when using some of the pre-internet type boards that were out there, because he could look up information. He was looking up information on the computer because he was part of that generation, so it made sense. So he actually served a purpose on the team. I'll give you another example of one that gets maligned. Godzooki from the Godzilla cartoon. He was all kinds of helpful to the game, to the crew. When Bathysphere got lost in the ocean and ended up in this underground, kind of this air pocket world, Godzooki was the only one who could go down and check on the Bathysphere and make sure the two people that were inside it were okay, because the others, he only had the one Bathysphere, and the others were stuck on the ship, so he could go down and help. He was able to get people out of danger because he could fly. If the signal device to call Godzilla for help wasn't available, Godzooki could get to place. He served a purpose on the team besides being the comic relief and someone for the kid to hang out with. Snarf from Thundercats. He served a purpose on the team. Originally, when Lionel first wakes up, this is classic series, mind you. When Lionel first wakes up, he has the body of a man, but as Tyler noted, he did not go through the life experiences that bring about maturity. So he still had the mind of like a 12-year-old child. And he had to learn to become a man. That was his story arc. Snarf helped because he was Lionel's nursemaid, so he helped him to realize that you didn't necessarily have to give up the good things about childhood, but at the same time, he had to learn to things like call the others for help and everything. And as Snarf went on, he started to learn more about being able to fight and became a better fighter. Not as good as Panthro, mind you, but enough that he could hold his own eventually. And let's not also forget, let's not forget, he defeated Mumra twice. Once with the help of some animals, where he rescued the other Thundercats, and all he used was like the equipped Third Earth version of a woodpecker, a spider, and a giant bat. The next time he did it by using his head, and he somehow got the ancient spirits of evil to give him powers, so he was able to go fight Mumra with them. So Snarf was also pretty smart. So these are 3 examples of mascot characters who actually proved useful to the team. Now, that doesn't mean that the mascot isn't necessarily immediately a good thing. If it's done wrong, it can be screwed up, and I'll give you 2 more examples from that. In the show Masked Rider, we have Furbus, the little furry animal creature. Supposedly, his purpose is to keep Dex from being homesick for his home planet. So he's this little pet that came from the home planet, and they got to do all this thing to hide him, like on Elf. Except that instead of being sarcastic, he's this curious little thing, always getting himself in trouble. But that's his only purpose. He has no other purpose in the story, which means all he does in the story is comic relief. Now, if he had maybe been needed so that when Dex had to make his calls back home using his mental powers, maybe Furbus was needed to boost the signal between the 2 planets. Then he serves a purpose on the team. If he somehow was a focus to help call the vehicles in, that would be a purpose of the team. Maybe Furbus acts as kind of a familiar, to use witch terms, familiar or a focus or something. Make him useful, but he wasn't, and that was a big reason why he kind of failed as a character. I can't defend him. Example number 2, Flash Gordon. The Filmation Flash Gordon series is still my favorite Saturday morning cartoon. It's one of the shows that introduced me to serials, which I love serials. It was just a really great science fiction adventure. Lou Scheimer was inspired by Flash Gordon comics to become a cartoonist, so he played it very close to the original comics, just like they did with Tarzan in the original novels, rather than going to the popular movies. So there was no me Tarzan, you Jane kind of things in the Filmation Tarzan. But season 1 of Flash Gordon was really good. For some reason, some dimwit in marketing said, no, we need to get rid of the serialized aspect. Kids don't like that. Bullcrap. We loved it. You need to introduce this little kitty character. No, it didn't. I'll defend Godzooki on Godzilla of all things. And I can tell you right now that Gremlin the Dragon, cute little guy as he was not necessary for Flash Gordon. The show started being more around him. He was like the prototype for Poochie, basically. And so it was a situation where Gremlin really didn't serve a purpose. He drew attention away from the other characters and to his antics. And the end result was he was actually kind of a detriment to the show. The show did not make season 3. And that's because somebody in marketing didn't like the serialized format because it interferes with this little rerun gimmicks. It interfered with all these other things. There's little marketing shticks that he does that they like to do. But the thing is, Gremlin added nothing to the team. He had no usable skills. He's a little baby dragon. What skills does he have? He's a baby dragon. He really did not offer much to the group. And then the fact that they changed it to now it was like 2 little short episodes per show, 2 little short stories per episode, just kind of really hurt the series. But Gremlin was only one of the reasons. There was a lot of other reasons, and I blame it all on NBC marketing. You want this little cute character that you can make toys out of. I don't remember seeing Gremlin plushies. So, yeah, I kind of question that. But, I don't remember the plush animal Gremlins. I don't remember Flash Gordon action figures. I think there might have been some. I know there were for Defenders of the Earth, but I don't remember if the Filmation Flash Gordon had toys in the U.S. I know Black Star had toys, I think, in Italy. But, yeah, a good kit. If you're going to make a mascot character, or any kind of comic relief character, I think Poncho, at least in the movie version of the Cisco Kid, with Cheech Marin as Poncho, comic relief character, but he needed to serve some kind of purpose to the team. I haven't seen that movie in years. I don't remember how well that worked out. Anytime you make any kind of comic relief character, you can't just simply have him be there to make jokes and lighten the mood. Because that I don't have a problem with that, but within the story, on the team, or as the partner to the hero, he or she needs to serve some kind of importance. And Filmation was otherwise good at that. Orko served purpose. Good Widgets, Mataraz, Broom, and Cowell all served a role in the team. Fuzz in Brave Star served a purpose on the team. And that's so they serve a purpose in the team, they serve a purpose in moving the story forward. And if you're going to make a mascot character, if you're going to make a comic relief character of any kind, you need to remember that their role in the story is comic relief, but they need a role in the group. They need to still be competent enough to be useful to the group. Otherwise, your audience is going to ask you, why does this character exist? So that should always be a question you ask yourself. You want this character to be comic relief? Fine. What else do they add to the story? It's something to think about. I might get to cut this one a little short, since the others have been long. So, if you want to find out who else is taking part in the Art Soundoff Challenge, go to Twitter, look for the hashtag Art Soundoff, and make sure that you don't just stick to the top posts. Go to the latest posts so you see what else is coming out currently from myself and Jersey and Rob and Owen. And if you want to join us, go to leadnewart.com/artsoundoff. It'll give you some ideas on how to do that. You don't have to do it in a video. You can do it as an audio. You don't even have to publish it. You can just do Art Soundoff and Art Soundoff just for yourself, and nobody else ever hears it. But I like to see some other people taking part, and I like to see some other opinions on storytelling and how other people approach their craft. I think it'd be interesting. But that's it for this one. So until the next one, I wish you all happy creating, and hopefully next time I won't need to have a lozenge in my mouth to do this without coughing my brains out. Goodbye.